Is everything recording? We've got the audio and the video right here. Oh, God. What? Whew. Hey, good morning. And when I say good morning, I most certainly mean good morning, even though you might be seeing this video in the afternoon. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. Hey, it's Sunday morning at 7:45 as I'm filming this, and even though you're seeing this video in the future, I want you guys to think for a moment. What were you doing Sunday at 7:45 in the morning? Were you awake? Were you asleep? I'm just curious to know. Folks, I gotta be honest. I'm coming to you with a rejuvenated sense of urgency. I'm coming to you guys rejuvenated, and not because of like sleep or anything like that. I mean, who's getting that? I'm working 7 days a week over on the flip. I mean, look at my hair, for God's sake. I'm just feeling better because I'm being so much more candid with you guys. I'm not biting my tongue anymore. And with everything that I share, I'll be giving you even more. There was thoughts for the longest time while doing After Prison Show of writing a book. Well, forget the book. I'm just going to do it in videos. I mean, who's got time to write a book these days? Who the hell is Tom Clancy or James Patterson? Ain't none of us them guys, right? But one thing that I want to share with you guys as I begin this video is, as amazing, oh God, as amazing as my life has been because of YouTube. I mean, YouTube has allowed me to live an amazing life and been able to do a lot of things and try to work with a lot of people and that same old song and dance. One of many downsides to it, because just like everything good, there's always the bad. But one of the many downsides was, for 6 years, I felt like I was on house arrest. And that may seem a little dramatic, but I mean that. Like I was a hostage to YouTube in the sense that like I had to perform. I had to. And one thing that I had to was always felt like I had to bite my tongue, and now I'm just not. Is it that kamikaze type of mindset? That could be, a part of it, but I think now I just have reached a point where I just don't care. I mean, I do care, but I don't care. Does that make any sense? Anyways, with that, I enjoy this rejuvenated sense of myself where I'm able to just be and speak so much more freely, especially on social media where they don't really want you to do that. You know what I mean? That's kind of frowned upon. I can't tell you how many times I've been thrown in the old Facebook jail for speaking my mind, or tried to respond to a comment. Like, this is something new now here on YouTube, but tried to respond to a comment. Maybe it was a troll or somebody said something that got under my skin, and I'm like, I'm keyboard gangstering back just as hard as they was giving it to me. And then, you go to post that comment and YouTube will be like, hey, are you sure you want to post this? This joint kind of goes against community guidelines. Post it anyways. Shit. Today, speaking freely with you guys, I want to address a couple of comments. Let's do a little comment response video. In response to the last video that I shared with you guys, being a boss after prison, there most certainly were some good, interesting comments to respond to. And I'm hoping that this is something... Boy, I seen you right there, fruit fly, boy. I just smacked the fire from your ass. I feel like there was a lot of good comments and bad comments that should make for an interesting response video. So, it's with all of that being mentioned that what do you say we go ahead and we dive? That's not a bow and arrow, that's a tape measure. Dive! 15 and 7/8. Joe Building. Joe Villa. Class A master contractor and carpenter. That ought to get the keyboard smoking this morning. Joe, you ain't no master carpenter. Head first up into this video. Real quick, let's take a little moment to just recognize the greatness of my hair. So many people saying that I need a haircut. Why? Do I though? I think my hair looks phenomenal. I was in Lowe's yesterday with my wife picking out light fixtures for the flip. And I overheard two of the people who work in Lowe's whispering to each other, not whispering, but talking to each other. He looks like Marv from Home Alone. And then as I was leaving, they asked me, excuse me, sir, has anybody ever told you? Yes, as a matter of fact, the best. Forget the ancient aliens, guys. Somebody said I look like fucking Barbara Bush. Probably both of them, right? They probably had that old bun type of dude going. The old lady fro. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of these comments and shout out to each and every one of you, even if you left a bad comment, who left a comment that I'll be responding to in this video, especially those who added some insight to the conversation. Starting first with Scott, who says, what happened to the prison strangers? I don't have time for that right now, Scott. I do apologize. I got to get this house done. When I get this house done, I'm starting a food truck, After Prison Show food truck, prison meals on the go, ready to roll. Yeah, and we'll probably have that mixed between Joe Does Stuff and After Prison Show. I'll try to intertwine, try to scissor the content with that money, if that makes any sense. But in terms of prison visits, hopefully, I don't know. Maybe we'll get back to it, and yeah, maybe we will. Hopefully we will. I'm just really busy right now. But Scott, I appreciate your comment, and thank you for that. Andrew says, is Joe able to make a video where he doesn't mention how great he is? Andrew, I'm sorry if I come across confident. It's not egotistical. It's not big-headedness. Am I allowed to have any sense of confidence about myself? Should I be emo? I'm just interested to know, what your thoughts are on that. If I was emo, would you like me better? Oh, God, I can't never do right. I can't never do good enough. It's people like Andrew who think that all I do is talk about how great that I am. I'm not great. But I am, okay, let me rephrase this. I'm not great. Some people may think that I am. A lot of people may think that I'm not. I try to be confident, right? Because even if you're not confident, you got to be confident. You got to dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. That's going to come into play in just a little bit. But yeah, man, hey, just let me live my life. Let me do me, you do you. If you spent more time worrying about you, Andrew, and less about me, maybe you would be great too. And I hope that you are. And if you're not, I hope that you feel like you are. And if you're not, I hope that you'll watch me think, damn, all Joe does is talk about how great he is. Well, why can't I do the same damn thing? Andrew, shout out to you. I wish you nothing but the best. Be great. Make Andrew great again. Right? Okay, Chris. Great comment right here. Chris said, oh, God, I can't even read this. I need my glasses. You can't mix friendship with work. Touche. I've learned that many a time. I'm a plumber. I have dealt with that in the past. It is better to pay per job than by the hour. If you pay per job, we will get more work done at a faster rate and the person will make more money. Just make sure you paid a fair wage and you get what you paid for. A lot of insight and information and gems you dropped in that comment right there. And I've got quite a bit of experience paying per job. I paid Brian #1, who's currently locked up right now. I'm gonna have a video coming about him this week, an update. But I paid him per job and he ran off with a bunch of money and materials. So there was that. The last guy that I paid per job was this Class A contractor, drywall finisher guy, level 5, who came to do the drywall finishing work at my last flip house. And what he did was he charged me $5,400. He subbed that out to some crackhead old dude who he probably gave like $2,000 to. And that just didn't work out too well neither. So it's a double-edged sword in both departments, or in all the departments that you've mentioned. I've mixed the friendship in business and seen many times that not work out. I've paid per hour, I've paid per job, and in both of those cases, I've seen that not work out. And then I've probably seen it work to a certain degree. Richard, I used to pay per job at first. And then he just preferred that I paid him per hour in the end, and maybe that was more beneficial for him, but we came to a mutual understanding of beneficialness. I think every situation, it calls for its own situation, if that makes any sense at all. You got to take every situation as it comes and approach every circumstance circumstantial, right? I'm sorry, I'm a little discombobulated right this second because my camera is flickering. It's getting dyslexic. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but this camera might be on its last leg. Might be time to retire this guy. All right, here's a really good comment that I want to address. This one comes from Eterio 15. I'm sorry that I'm mispronouncing your name. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm probably butchering that right there. But you said if you had no YouTube money and if you had to start working with no perspective, no growing opportunity, no assurance, well, how would you work? Yo, that's a very good comment right there. If I had no YouTube money and I had no perspective and no growing opportunity and no assurances, how would I work? What you fail to realize is that was exactly everything that I had minus the YouTube money when I came home from prison, okay? I had all of those things, no assurances, no growth opportunities, no perspective. I was working at a fucking temp service in Little Caesars making like $7.50 and $7.25 an hour. My manager was 17 years old telling me go home and shave, and I quit on his bitch ass, okay? I was exactly all of those things with even more than that, with a high likelihood of recidivism. Man, forget Little Caesars and this temp service and these garnishments because of court fines. I could just easily go back to the streets, but I didn't do that because I had done that so many times in the past. Easily go back to addiction, but I didn't do that because I had done that so many times in the past. So what I did was I did it totally different. I used the same level of drive and determination that I had while in prison to get through the 7 years that I had to serve, that I felt like was gonna kill me, that I felt like on the day that I got sentenced after already being locked up for 2 years thinking, yes, all I got was 7.5 years. And then right after that thinking, but fuck, I still got 5 years left and I gotta go to prison. How am I ever gonna get through this? Drive and determination and hope. Those three things carried me through prison. And guess what? When I came home, I put all three of those things to work in an effort to assure myself that even though I am working at Little Caesars in this DEMFer manager, 17 years old, who's probably making $8.50 an hour. Oh, but Joe, you only be paying. Look at the corporations and how they was paying. Now that was pre-pandemic when everybody quit working and nobody still wants to work, and now you've got to don't get started, Joe. Don't get started. Save it. It was a different time back then. But the short of it is, yo, I was in that same exact situation. What I did was I just worked my ass off. Then went to the concrete pouring job. Worked my ass off. Did the best that I could. All the while working on YouTube, working on my dream. So if you are in a situation with no assurances, no perspective, no growth opportunities, take it for what it is. Do the best that you can with that, or give it half of your all, or don't give it your all at all. Just say, forget it, let me go try to find something else. You got to take every opportunity as it comes. You got to start somewhere to get somewhere. Shit, I'm about to start doing motivational seminars. I think I'd be pretty good at this. Tony Robbins, I'm coming. Let me go ahead and move on to this comment from a guy by the name of Tyler. And this was a really long comment. I'm gonna try to run through this real quickly. I wanna share this comment because it was really nice. It was such a nice comment. He's talking so nicely about me. And yeah, that's definitely I'm gonna have some bias about that, but I wanna share this with you guys because I'm glad that somebody feels this way. If only one person feels this way, I'm certainly glad that I can at least share this with all of you. But Tyler says, hey Joe, my name is Tyler and I just wanted to say that I've been watching your channel since 2015. That's when I came home from prison. And I've always been a big fan. It seems like lately that you have caught a lot of flack for the stuff that you really shouldn't have for the past 6 years. I have admired how much of a stand-up guy you really are and tried to see the good in people. You've tried to help countless people who haven't appreciated your generosity. I have watched you countless times dump money, time, and effort into people and then act like you are some horrible individual. If I had the chance to do what you do, I would in a heartbeat. We all make mistakes, and I know you have made your fair share, and who hasn't? But the bigger picture is you try to not only see, but show the good in people, and honestly, don't have anyone else looking out for them. You didn't have to do that. It was not your responsibility, and yet you put yourself in front of the firing squad for just about every one of them. I hope you continue to do what you do. I know that a lot of these people that you have tried to help left a bad taste in your mouth. Some of them were completely ungrateful and were not loyal as a friend or a boss or even just somebody who knows what it's like to be them, on your ass with nothing or nobody who they could count on. It takes somebody with a pretty big heart to risk everything that you have stretched out your neck just to get trashed in the end. I'm still a loyal fan. I can say I probably watched 99% of your videos and just wanted to let you know that most of us could only wish that we had a friend like you to call on, and F the haters And even if you don't read this, I'm still a big fan. And as a fan, I could only wish that someone would help me the way you've helped others, because if someone did, I could not even begin to fathom treating that person like most people that you have helped have treated you. Keep up the good work, and if you ever need a loyal sidekick, get at me. Thanks, Joe. After Prison Show rocks. I really had a tough time reading that because it was so small. But I want to say to you, Tyler, man, hey, thank you for those kind words. It's not often that I get recognized for the things that I have done, because I have done a lot. And if you see this new change in me, this free-spirited, just flying off the cuff with saying exactly what I feel, maybe in some regards it is all the bullshit that I've dealt with that's caused me to be this way. No longer will I hold back, and if it is some BS, I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna address it immediately, and I don't care if it comes across as drama or for the views, but fuck that. You ain't gonna sit here and say, oh, Joe, you're such a horrible person. It always goes wrong. Nobody ever leaves you better than when they started with you. Well, I'm gonna show you why, if ever there is a reason that we gotta have, you know, a cutting ties situation or whatever. Because moving forward, I mentioned getting done with the flip house. I mentioned doing the food truck. Hey, I would love that to be able to help folks. Even if it's not helping people directly after prison, guess what? Maybe it's dudes after prison who are going to work who can't find something to eat. Because in this food desert, these two areas, this Lowe's and this other spot near my flip, there ain't shit out there. And maybe I'll be able to put some guys to work with that. But regardless, I got a little off track with all of that. Tyler, man, awesome comment. Thank you so much for rocking with me for so long. I really appreciate those nice words, man. Thank you. From sugar, let's go to shit. Let's go to Catherine, who says, you treat people with respect no matter what. That's your help. If you don't hire them, then you would be doing the work yourself. So, Catherine, I appreciate your view. And I'm not going to sit here and, go crazy about it. It reminds me of another comment that I had read that said, Joe, you got to keep in mind, I shared this on Joe Does Stuff and I went in. But this other comment said, Joe, you got to keep this in mind. These people don't work for you, you work for them, because without them, your job, your business would be so much harder to run. And I said, X-nay on the bullshit day of that comment, I said, what you talking about? That's absolutely crazy. Smoking crack makes more sense than your comment did, but you got to go watch Joe Does Stuff if you want to see my full reaction to that, because I had just read that and I just addressed it. I was like, yo, what? I work for them? Hold up. But Catherine, getting back on track, you treat people with respect no matter what. I agree with that. I totally agree. The first part of your statement, I absolutely agree with that. I'm never going to disrespect somebody unless they are a disrespectful piece of shit. I made a comment in a previous video, being a boss after prison. I said, if somebody shows that they ain't shit, then I'm going to treat them as such. Somebody had responded to that comment with their comment and said, Joe, that's a horrible way of thinking. You're a horrible person and boss. If somebody proves that they're not shit, you don't treat them like shit. What I mean by that is, well, I'm not going to continue to work with them, so I'm going to X-nay on the shit-a. You know what I mean? Let me not get all confused here. You treat people with respect. I always treat people with respect. Maybe it comes across disrespectful because I'm so open now. You know what I mean? Just speaking it. Speaking the fucking truth is what I'm doing. We have gotten too soft as a world these days, if you ask me. Everything has got to be so petted, so coaxed. Like I hate that shit. When I was coming up, after coming home from prison on October the 13th, 2015, there wasn't none of that. Wasn't nobody worried about giving you a sign-on bonus for a sign-on bonus and a new iPhone 13 Pro Max with the cinematic camera just to come to work? But don't get me started. You treat people with respect no matter what. Touche. That's your help. If you don't hire them, you would be doing the work yourself. You're wrong, Catherine, because you see, there's this wonderful source of content, especially for a video creator, called Craigslist, right? And there's always some Joe Schmo up there, And I don't mean that to sound so bad, but it's the absolute truth. There's Facebook Marketplace. There are people who still recognize the fact that they need to work. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be somebody, And you know what? If there's not, then guess what? I'll do the job myself. Many times I've done that. Done a landscape job many a time by myself. Worked on the flip house many a days by myself. Matter of fact, Sunday at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, which it is probably about right now, I'm getting done filming this video and I'm gonna go work on the flip house by myself. Why? Because I got respect for the guys that work with me and I wouldn't ask them to put in the type of time 7 days a week that I'm willing to do. Getting back to Etiero's comment about having no drive and no assistance and no assurance. Bitch, you gotta go out there and make it for yourself. If you don't work the hardest that you ever worked in your life, how you ever gonna get anywhere? And I'm sorry if this upsets some folks, like, wow, Joe is going crazy. Recognize the fact that I'm not. I'm just speaking the damn gospel. What is going on with the world these days? Maybe that's what's got me going crazy, if I'm going crazy at all. I might have just become woke. I don't really know what that means, actually. There's 3 more comments. Let me blow through these joints real quick because I don't want to make this video super long. Justin says, Joe, there's got to be a way that maybe you could take a few night classes and become some sort of after-prison counselor and get full-time in that area. Maybe. You know, maybe that's something down the road. We got food truck on the brain right this second, but maybe. Justin, I respect your comment, and it's definitely an interesting idea. I would love to be able to reach folks after prison and try to motivate them to do the best that they can. And I try to use this, especially lately, as my counseling session. Joe, but you're the one that needs some counseling. What happened? I'm sure people are probably thinking that. Justin, thank you. Jeremy says, I'd be too paranoid about having a moving business, going back to the last video, being a boss after prison, where I was talking about the many different businesses. I started talking about the moving company. I'd be too paranoid about having a moving business. Oh, there's a new scratch on my 10-year-old fridge. I want a new one. I mean, that's the risk that you take with any business that you do. You can run into some issues, you know, and moving especially, breaking shit. I'll never forget, I'm not going to throw this person under the bus. They were late on like our first move. They were so late on our first move, like an hour and a half late on our first move. I'm out there busting my ass. I got one guy helping me. I think it was Mike at the time. So fill in the blanks on who was super late. But anyways, as soon as they got there, all twidgety, as soon as they got there, they fucking broke something. Like they dropped like something. And I snapped. Boy. So I had to go to this homeowner with this broken glass and like, hey, excuse me, I'm sorry, we broke it. Whatever this is worth to you, I'm willing to pay, which you can't never say. Because get the wrong person who says that shit's worth $1 million. Luckily for us, they were just good people and they said, we're not worried about it. It was not that important. But I think they respected the fact that we went right there to them and showed them, hey, we fucked up and we're willing to make it right. But you're right, Jeremy, that can most certainly happen. Final comment is from Remy Reynolds, who says, damn, bro, you be tripping. Don't know why you're letting your hair go crazy and nuts, butts and nuts. Well, I've mentioned it a few different times. I don't have time to get a haircut. That's the short of it. I ain't got time to wait on nothing right now. It's go mode, it's go time, it's grind time. And I mean that with everything that I am. I am trying to get this freaking house done, and a haircut is just in the way right this second. And I'm gonna transform this house, and when this house is done, hopefully by the end of this month, I'll have a transformation of myself as well. I'm gonna put on a suit backwards like Tom Green from Freddy Got Fingered, Walking Backwards Man, and I'm going to flex when I do that HGTV, love it or list it, home reveal, and also Joe reveal as well. Shit's gonna be looking like an episode of the Jenny Jones Show. Joe gonna be looking right. And I've lost quite a bit of weight from busting my ass on this house as well. Hey, look, folks, that's all I got, man. I truly hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Whether you agree with my thinking or not, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not trying to convince you of my line of thinking. I respect your line of thinking. I try to respect your line of thinking. I know sometimes I can come across quite crazy with it. But I just want you to respect my line of thinking. Understand, I try to tell you guys why I think the way that I do. Has my thinking changed? It probably has. It's probably been made to change throughout these last 6 years for sure. But Like I said, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, and I'm not trying to make you agree with it, some of you may agree with it, that's great. I want you to just enjoy it. You know, Joe being on some old Kramer shit, minus going too crazy with it. 7-minute abs type of something about Mary explanations. I don't know what I meant by that. I just hope, you guys are able to enjoy these videos nonetheless. See Joe get a little animated with it, so to speak. Folks, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like or a dislike on this video. Let me know exactly what you thought, and also please leave a comment as well. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!